Hello, this is Greg Meltzer for EdHD. This is Milestone 2. For those who may not have seen the demo for Milestone 1, EdHD is an application for creating, managing, and completing Hadoop MapReduce-based homework assignments. The first big change that has occurred since Milestone 1 is the removal of GitHub integration for sign-in. I wasn't a fan of how it was behaving. So I ended up just creating a standard Spring Security sign-in and registration. So I'll go ahead and sign in. Registration does require that the username is a valid email address or via regex. However, there is no email validation at this time. The only restriction for passwords is that the password does have to match the confirmation, and it won't let you sign up if they don't match. The next big improvement, which is something I did not have last time, is the ability to actually run submissions on the cluster. Now, in order to get that working, I did have to move the application to run on the cluster itself instead of remote from any location. However, it is working quite nicely. Part of running also includes collecting status information. So here we can see I'm the admin. In this top, this is the validator section, which if you create assignment, you create the assignment definition and the validation, which is something that will run to create data that will then be used to compare the student's output. We can see the status for each of the main sections: compilation, running, validation, and completion. If you click on these, you'll get some more information. We can see that admin, when he tried to submit a standard submission, something went wrong during compilation, and it'll give you the compilation errors. To fix this, let's try and submit again, one without compilation errors. So now we can see my submission is running again. This will take a few minutes because I am running Hadoop on a Raspberry Pi cluster, so it's not the fastest. While we wait, I can show you what that submission looks like. So until now, we haven't really seen what everything looks like. However, inside of the zip, you have to have your files in the standard package layout. So in this case, we have word count mapper. It's in the examples package. So at the root of the archive, there has to be an examples folder containing the Java files. Pretty standard stuff. One caveat right now is I am unable to collect the logs for the job as it runs. That's because the Hadoop tool runner, its output goes to standard out, and since I'm using threads, each thread is actually sharing standard out, so I can only successfully redirect it one thread at a time. And I have opted to allow for multiple simultaneous submissions instead of being able to capture STD out. Oh, looks like it's done, so now everything is green. Validation isn't implemented yet, but it will be in the next release. That is the last major feature of this application. There are some other minor things that need to be added. Right now, the HDFS browser, you can browse and see everything, but you can't actually preview files. So I would like to be able to preview, say, the first 20 lines of any file in HDFS. That way, when you're creating an assignment, the description doesn't have to include what the output looks like. They can just go to the input and see what it looks like. Another couple features is right now it doesn't validate your due date, so it just lets you submit. However, it does ensure that only one submission is allowed per student. If you try and submit again, it will wipe out your previous submission and start over. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to feedback.